Hey guys, this is God fucking damn it, Shadowdragon Tajuzane here. Um, so this is a little bit of a post me at the moment. The reason why this video has been heavily delayed is primarily due to the fact that my audio in the video sounds like absolute trash because I was in a different living environment than I am now. So I'm gonna sound a bit more normal than I do then, hopefully, somewhat. Anyway, and then aside from the audio issues, there was the datedness of some of the content. Not so much the anime section. The anime section is pretty fine. It's fine because that's still modern shit. It's more like the Nintendo Direct that we talked about and the anime awards. They're just so fucking dated at this point. So my intention is basically I'm gonna hopefully figure out how to do the little markers you see at the end of or during most of YouTube videos nowadays, where they have like the little chapters, like chapter 1, 2, 3, that type of thing. I'll try to be able to set that up so that way, if you guys don't give a single flying shit about the anime awards or the Nintendo Direct stuff, you guys can just skip to the anime stuff. And then yeah, aside from that, it's pretty much it. I will let you guys get back to the actual podcast episode. So hope you guys enjoy it. And then hopefully I won't be as long of a gap as it was for this one. So see you guys then. From Fate Stay Night, which he isn't
Yeah,
bad
he's actually
as
good in that. All right,
him.
he's good as Shiro. I mean, I'll give that.
He's good in a few roles, but the problem is with Attack on Titan and fucking Kirito, he's just awful.
Could just
And
be
that's
the
the reason
voice
why
director not
I
doing
hate
good.
I hate. That's why I never want every time I see a dub, I never want to watch it if I see his name involved in it at all.
and,
I know I'm either gonna fucking want to kill myself, or I'm just gonna just not want to watch it.
and those were the Crunchyroll Awards. How much time was that?
Actually,
That was near 30 minutes of us not really caring. I hope you all enjoyed that. We got to do it for the YouTube algorithm. I hope you understand. We need the views.
yeah, maybe this year I'll actually have a stake in it, but fucking heck, even my favorite show, I think 2019 or 2020 didn't even get in at all for that awards at all. And I was trying to shoot hero, got nothing whatsoever. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Not even for best fantasy or best freaking antagonist. Like, come the fuck on,
Get trolled. And speaking of
man.
trolled, time to talk about the Nintendo Direct through an IGN
Oh
article.
yes.
So let's take a look at their announcements, and you tell me your thoughts, and I'll share my thoughts on them. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. What are your thoughts on that?
I am actually very excited for that. From what, because have, I'm the only one in our friend group of five that has played these games, but they are some of my favorite games on the console. And I am very interested to see what they're going to do with the premise of this game, because if you play the games, there is a lot of stuff in there to see. Heck, they even have it's even been, well, actually it's kind of been confirmed actually at this point that the two worlds of the Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 are combined. Even in the big where they're gonna have the cover art, probably they have the Orion Titan and they have the Makana sword, which is I found really fucking cool. But aside from that, the characters are pretty cool. The only thing I would say is that I think actually for the main protagonist, I think the other protagonists are still. I still like them more. But I'm gonna give Noah some time before I definitely say yeah, I like Shulk more or something like that, because I'm yet to play the game, so I can't. It'd be kind of douche me like, yeah, Shulk's better. Automatically, fuck you. Aside from that, combat. I'm really hoping we get to see a combat trailer during E3, because I want to see what they're gonna do with it, because they have two totally different systems they can go with or something completely different. So I'm interested what they're gonna do with that. And then aside from that, it looks like they're bringing back the Collectopedia from Xenoblade 1, which is pretty cool. So I like that more than the little nodes you can get in Xenoblade 2. But we'll see how that works out. And yeah, I think that That's like this direct in general just kind of catered to me because I was planning on getting a fucking PS5 this year, and then they're like, how can I make this fucking nerd stay on our wing? Bribery, bitch. And so they're just fucking basically bribing me to stay in the company since now I'm like I want to try and get a collector's edition for Xenoblade because I've never gotten one and I want to see if I can get one. And plus, there's like another game that I'm not gonna mention yet because we haven't gotten there yet. And yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with it. Um, yeah, I'm very satisfied with the trailer. I'm gonna be fucking dying waiting for September because this is the first time I'm actually gonna be here for a launch of a Xenoblade game. Because the past two I've gotten and played them throughout 2020 2021. So this will be very interesting for me.
I get you.
You have any thoughts, Travis?
My thoughts. Rest in piss, donkey. Rest in piss, you absolute bozo. Have fun. Have fun with Xenoblade 3, you fucking punk. You absolute buffoon. Rest in
Yeah,
piss, bozo.
we couldn't get an episode of bringing up Donkey.
Hey man, it's Xenoblade. How could I refuse making a rest in piss joke about Donkey? You know when
Also,
Xenoblade 3 got revealed, you just know he was sitting there fucking seething and malding at the same time.
there's one thing I find really funny, right?
What's that?
So you know Rex's design, right?
Yeah,
Do you know how many people bitch about that design?
yeah, I stumbled upon it on Twitter.
Guess who did the design for the new main protagonist?
The same guy or
Yes,
gal.
same as that guy. And they're like, "Oh my god, thank God they fired that last guy." I said, "Bro, shut the fuck up. He's not even that bad."
People on Twitter are
Like
just retarded and also scared of
like
boobs.
I think people over exaggerate him because his voice acting isn't exactly the greatest. He gets better throughout the game. I'll give him that. He's not like my favorite voice actor in the world, but I'd rather listen to him than Kirito by a long shot. Like, if I had to listen to Kirito's fucking dipshittery for this whole fucking game, I would have burned my fucking copy. So I cannot stand that fucking dude's voice.
Well, while you were saying that, I had a piece of bile come up through the mouth, so that's a good omen. Let's move on before I just puke live on podcast. Up next, Mario Kart Deluxe gets 48 new tracks with paid DLC. Man, oh man, do I hate this, and yet I'm still gonna buy it anyway.
I think it's just like, well, Rip Mario Kart 9 for one. That's not gonna happen. I don't even think it's gonna happen at all at this point. They're just gonna keep porting 8. It's like
No,
the
it'll
new
happen
GTA
by
5.
2024 will be the year where they're like, hey guys, we were working on Mario Kart 9 the whole time.
No, they're not. I doubt it. They're not gonna put like two different studios on working on 9. I don't think so. They're not freaking Monolith Soft that can handle
Well, all
like
they're
4
doing
games
is
at
all
once.
they're doing is either remaking older courses or porting them directly over. So I think you have a smaller
I
group of
think they said
people
I
working
think they were
on
saying
these
remake.
courses and the larger
I think they
group
said they're
working on 9.
remaking. I think they said they're remaking all of them because they have to do the new mechanic with like the zero gravity.
Yeah, but if you're just remaking maps, you can just like insert that in a random place and people will be like, "Ooh, it's different." And
No, fair enough.
I am people.
I kind of just like how basically like no one really asked for this, but pretty much I'm just gonna probably buy it anyway.
No one asked for this, no one's happy about it. We're all still going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, they just basically just said like they just basically slapped their Mario Kart dong on the table and was like,
And we were
yeah.
like, "Yes, dear." On to the next piece of news. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes announced.
From what I've seen so far, it looks good. I am more curious to see how it's going to compare to the original Warriors because I still think it is the best fine like Warriors game they've ever made, like period. Because I like the it combined the tacticalness of Fire Emblem and like just the combat of like a Muso game really well. So far I think there's been like at least like maybe 6 characters sort of confirmed.
I mean,
I say sort of because they didn't really show Dedue at all, but they showed his gauntlets. So I mean, fuck it.
it's gonna be Raphael. You got pranked, bro.
The only thing I'm gonna have to say is if it's only three houses characters, they better add the whole fucking cast. I swear to God, if like like if they cut like Dorothea for like fucking Ignatz, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I would be so fucking pissed off because Ignatz is such a nothing character.
Ignat, you know what I'd be saying, Tyler? I'd be telling you rest in piss, bozo, as I only use Ignatz in the game.
It's sad because like I find it's worse because like he's in the same class as Claude, which is just better in every single way.
Can't. All I'm saying is I can't wait for them to completely forget about the Ashen Wolves DLC existing. I can't wait for that group to just be
I'm
retconned.
already speculating they're gonna add it as like a DLC expansion with like some new stages or something.
Dude,
Because
if they
what
made
else?
them
What
DLC
else are they gonna add?
if they made them
Oh,
DLC twice, I would have a good chuckle about that. Honestly, that would be really
actually,
funny.
I have an idea. I have an idea what they might do. Actually, they might make Sarah as a DLC character because I think she would actually make more sense as a DLC character. Actually, or at least for me, anyway. Because I mean, they're probably use her as like dragon form and all that as like a boss. But if they have Sarah as a DLC character, because there aren't many characters they can use for DLC. They're just doing like the three house stuff.
Listen, all I'm saying is
So
I better be able to wreck fools with Dami Mami Rhea. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I assume you would be able to at some point. There's no fucking way they wouldn't add Ray at some point. The only one I can think of they might not add is maybe Sophis, but even then, it's kind of like I don't
And you
know.
know what? Fuck it.
And
Add Azura. You know what? Fuck. She's not from three houses. I don't care. Put her in there anyway.
she's in the first Warriors
Well,
game.
put her in the second one. Less development time. You're welcome, Nintendo. I just made you billions. I will
I
be
mean,
taking the paycheck.
unless they do add the entire cast of Warriors, I don't think it's likely because they didn't show any of that at all in the trailer.
Nope, it's gonna
So
happen. That's my prediction. That's my that's my 2022 prediction.
I mean, I hope it does because I think having a gigantic roster would be nice for the game because
No,
I like a
Tyler, my
lot of the
prediction
mechanics
is they
that.
won't add any other character from Warriors except Azura, solely to try to get me to buy the game because Nintendo appreciates me and me alone as a
I mean,
customer.
you should just buy the original because it's
You should
like you
just
can
buy
get
the
that and
original. You should just buy.
no, you can get the original game plus the DLC for $60.
Oh, does the Switch version come with the DLC?
Well, I mean, you have to buy the DLC, but at the price at the moment, which is what I did anyway, I bought the game because you can get the game now for like $30 pretty easily, and then you can just get the DLC for another 30, and then here we go. Actually, no,
Cringe.
it's either 30, it was either 30 or 20. It was one of the two. I think it was 30.
Well, that sounds appealing, but also Azura shouldn't be She should be free DLC. Everyone should be allowed to experience the best Fire Emblem character of all time.
I mean, I'll give you this. She's actually probably one of the best Lance units in the game.
Yeah, eat shit, Orboro.
For infantry lances, I think the flyers kind of outclass her a decent bit because they have mobility, but she's still good nonetheless.
And with
And she has beast effective weapon, which is good because I don't like using the freaking twins.
and with that said, let's move on to Mario Strikers. They did it.
I felt
They
nothing. I
finally
felt nothing for this
they finally
because
managed to touch a sports series that wasn't tennis or golf.
with how they've been going recently, I feel they're just going to drop the ball in this game
Oh, it's
entirely.
definitely going to be a case.
I have no update.
It is so going to be a case of like where it has minimum content at launch, and you just have to like hope that the free updates keep piling on, so the game is like completed in like a year's time.
I find it funny when people are like more hyped for this game than they are the other two. I'm not. I can't blame them entirely, but like, dude, did you not pay attention to golf? Like, come on. Or tennis that launched minimally. They offered free updates. I think they even mentioned this
Yes, they
in the
mentioned
Strikers
free
thing, the free
updates.
updates. So what that means is basically there's gonna be nothing to do at launch, and honestly, I don't really see the appeal of 8 players split screen because who the fuck has 8 people lying around? and also 8 Joy-Cons lying around.
I don't feel like it's. I don't think it'll be split screen.
No, they said like they could have like all of them on one console game.
Yeah, but it's like that's
I just said split screen because that's what I'm used to saying when it comes to like
okay. All
massive
right.
multiplayer.
I don't know. Smash Bros has the 8 player mode, and you get to
Well,
gloat
Smash
that
is
you can
different.
have up to 8 players. Do Xbox and PlayStation get to brag about that? Do they get to brag about local 8 player multiplayer?
I
No.
think
Guess who
Xbox.
does?
I think
Nintendo.
I think Xbox still can because I think they said they were making an update for Infinite where they can actually have split screen.
Huh. The more you know.
I think anyway. I'm not too sure. That was a while ago that I remember hearing that.
Well,
But yeah, that's pretty much it for Strikers. Honestly, I'm not really. I'm not buying it.
yeah, I'm not
I
gonna
buy.
buy it either.
I'll buy Mario Kart DLC. I'm not buying a sports game for Mario anymore. I'm not interested in any of them.
That's fair.
Unless like literally like every one of our friend group wants to play the game, I'm like, fine.
Yeah, no, that was the only reason I was gonna get golf, but it turns out no one ended up getting that golf game. So
I mean, I thought everyone was gonna get the Mario Party game, but only like me and
I
Lilac got
asked
it.
for it, but I ended up not getting it, which is fine. I ended up getting other things, but
You know what, Travis? If I get the job at Walmart, I'll buy you the copy.
yeah, just steal it from steal it from the storage area.
But I can't really steal it. I'll buy it for you. So
Okay.
I'll get it for cheaper.
Well, speaking of buying, I don't know why I'm using that as a segue because it's probably neither of us are gonna buy this, but Chrono Cross Remaster. I didn't know there was a
I find
Chrono Trigger sequel until like a few days ago, and then hey, what do you know? This got brought up. So that's really all I have to say. Do you have any thoughts?
I find it weird that they released this before Chrono Trigger. And Chrono Trigger is like the big one between the two. Like no one give. From what I know, most people don't give a shit. Fucking shit about Chrono Cross.
Someone in the
There's
comments
some
tell
people that
me.
do. Like fucking Vine Sauce likes it, which is cool.
Someone in the comments tell me if Chrono Trigger is on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System app on the Switch
I
because I genuinely don't remember if it is
I
or
don't
isn't.
think it is. I just checked it a little while ago, and I don't think it's on there at all.
Okay, well, either way, leave a comment because apparently leaving comments is good for the YouTube algorithm. So, you're a little sucky sucky under the table if you do, or, licky licky if you're a girl. I don't discriminate. On to the Nintendo Switch Sports. Talk about a downgrade from Wii
um,
Sports Resort. I don't even want to give this the time of day.
I find it funny when Brandon was well excited for this. That just that this looks
If Wii
like
Sports Resort did not exist, I might be hyped for this. But literally, a better game has already released for the Wii years ago. And let's be honest, nearly everyone on Earth has a Wii. So, just find a copy of Wii Sports Resort and play that. And I promise you, you'll get more out of that than you probably will with this.
I found it funny because like it looks like a freaking off-brand Wii Sports, and it's made by the actual company
Oh,
that made
because
it.
because they didn't market the Mii's, but you can still play as Mii's. But for whatever reason, they're trying to move away from Mii's with these like weird off-brand, shittier looking Mii characters.
Like, dude, they're in freaking Smash. I think people are gonna know Mii's and compared to whatever the fuck you design in your freaking HAL laboratory.
I couldn't tell you, man.
Aside from that, I mean,
And
it's Wii
hey, there'll be
Sports.
free
I'm
updates
not buying it.
post-launch.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. It does not. It's not a game I'd buy. If it was like a pack-in title for the Switch when it launched, it would be fine. But since they stopped doing that, I don't think this game is even worth my time. To
Yeah,
be honest,
that's how I'm feeling. I got no.
especially because September and June are gonna be freaking packed for me.
He's got his Weeb games to buy.
Well, not even just that, they're just ridiculously long. I'm betting on Xenoblade 3 being at least like 200 hours on its own.
Probably.
That's how long pretty much Xenoblade 2 took me to it. Granted, I had to do a fuck ton of grinding for that stupid fucking robot character. God damn it! If I ever do a fucking let's play of that fucking game, I swear to God, I'm unless she comes in like the first fucking summon, I'm never going for it because that was just a fucking hell sore.
Speaking of
I
salt,
wanted.
triangle strategy is still a thing.
I mean, it was never not a thing.
That's fair.
Uh, from what I played, is I played the first chapter. I haven't played the full demo yet. Basically, nothing really changed for me. My criticisms still kind of stand with this game that I don't really like the combat as much because, like, when I think of tactical, I think of Fire Emblem, and Fire Emblem, you know what happens when you get attacked? You do this thing where you punch back. You don't do this in Triangle Synergy. Well, strategy.
Strategy.
My bad. I'm gonna keep fucking up that name for so goddamn long as I'm funny. I mean, I like the art style. It looks good, but I just do not get into combat, and that's I think a big sticking point for me for this game.
That's fair.
I am not as much, and if I'm gonna pick between this and Fire Emblem, I'm gonna pick Fire Emblem because Fire Emblem just easier on my brain because I'm like, okay, if Byleth gets hit by this bullet, he can hit back instead of getting freaking ass wrecked by like 3 enemies.
That's fair.
Which is another gimmick in this game. I don't know if you played the demo, but if like you would basically if you attack an enemy, like let's say like there's an enemy in the middle, right? You have a guy on the left and you got on the right, right?
Yeah.
You hit them, the other one hits them as well.
Oh yeah, I do recall that from the play test that they did like a year ago.
Yeah. That's still in the game, which is fine. I mean, I guess you could say like that's sort of a counterattack thing, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of this combat style. I probably will still
I don't
give it a
remember.
shot, but I'm not. This is not the priority game anymore. Like if they didn't announce a new Fire Wars game and an Xenoblade game, I probably would have bought it. Like maybe like during the summer. But now those are getting the priority by a long shot.
I mean, I still have interest in the game from the story trailers I've seen. It looks like it can be good. I don't remember having too big of an issue with combat myself, but
I mean, that's a more of
I
me
haven't played
problem,
the
but
demo, so maybe I'll change my mind when I play the demo. But so
plus
far,
also
I'm
like the
looking forward to it. Plus, it's another game
only
that Donkey can mold over. So, honestly, a win for the good guys.
the only thing is like weird is like the enemies are kind of HP sponges in this game.
God, I
Like
hope not.
they kind of are because like the bosses like you have like I don't know, just they feel more spongy than they really should be.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I will just simply hope that that is not the case. Otherwise, I will cry and mauled and be salty.
Well, I mean, Exuma 2 has spongy enemies, but that's because of the combat design.
Oh, so speaking of tactical games, the front mission games that were shown, I don't got a lot to say. The mech designs look cool. I'd be interested in it. It's mechs and tactical RPG. How could I say no? It's robots. I get to command fucking giant robots.
If it was Gundam to be different, that's all I'm gonna say. I'd actually probably be interested.
You're talking like
I'm
those. You're
sorry.
talking like the mech designs of Front Mission were bad though. The ones I saw look
They're not
cool.
bad. I just like Gundam. I think Gundams look cooler.
Well, it's
I'd be
kind of
more
hard
interested
to
in a
beat
Gundam
what people
RPG.
consider the best of the best. That's like me. That's like me going to like an indie wrestling show and being like, I prefer WWE. Like, no shit. WWE's like the biggest of the big. No, I'd be surprised if you didn't. Well, I guess that's a poor example because not a lot of people seem to enjoy WWE as much, but that's a talk for another day if you ever want to know about pro wrestling. Well, we'll let that one sit. Although, if I get to mull about pro wrestling pay per views, I got a lot to say about the Royal Rumble. If you want to let me mull about that later on.
Maybe we'll see how much time we're at.
Let's see. Splatoon 3 Salmon Run. The only thing I remember is that you told me it's a poor man's zombie mode, and the music for that trailer was
Well,
actually
I didn't
awful.
say I didn't say it poor man. I said it was like the zombies mode essentially.
I just remember the
But
music. The music was awful.
yeah, I I would have bought Splatoon 3 if I didn't just buy it the Splatoon 2 like not even a year ago at this point. Like that honestly just like killed all motivation. Actually, maybe it was 2 years now, maybe, but I just still kind of hurt or irked me when like they announced the Splatoon 3 after I just bought it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
You got trolled, bro.
And I'm not buying 3. I'm saying right now, I'm not buying that game again.
Oh Jesus. Well, moving. No, I didn't. Oh, not oh Jesus to you. Oh Jesus to me. Remembering that fucking Metroid Dread added a one-hit kill mode to their fucking game. Sociopaths. Sociopaths can have fun with that. I'm staying the fuck away from that.
I would probably try normal mode, and if it was too hard for me, I'd probably have to do rookie mode since I'd actually like to play the game instead of getting one shotted by those
Oh,
fucking
the enemies will
demo
probably still
robots.
one-shot you in rookie mode.
I mean, they might make it towards like the. I think what they said is like they might make that the timer more forgiving in rookie mode,
Yeah, I remember the
which
timer
is what
being
I
like,
prefer.
I don't think I got the timer right a single time throughout the demo.
Which I mean, I guess makes sense, but still, it's like, dude, I want to play the fucking game. I don't feel like keep fucking dying to the same fucking enemy
I
5,000
get you.
times.
I just remember being terrified of enemies after like
Oh,
getting one-shotted. I was
another
like,
thing. Another thing that helps actually is for older people that want to play the game that don't have a good reaction speed.
yeah,
They can actually probably play the game.
yeah,
They probably can't do it. Well, I mean, they probably have a hard time doing it. I know there's like one guy that I know who was struggling with it because he was in the military and his reaction time was so off he couldn't play the game.
mm. Well, hopefully rookie mode does stuff like that. It's always nice when games actually do add shit like that to help people out and actually help people out. And a voice
Yeah,
crack to end that one. Jesus, I'm on my
it's
fucking
like
A
in
game.
actually. Actually, it kind of reminds me of the Xenoblade 2 for a second because they added there's a difficulty they added. It's called Bringer of Chaos, and it's widely considered the hardest difficulty in any RPG.
Fuck that.
Because the game stacks everything against you.
Fuck that. You have fun with that, Tyler.
I'm I am tempted to do it, but I'm maxing everything up before I do it, and it's gonna be a new game plus. I'm not fucking around with that shit.
And speaking of what would you say the hardest mode was called? Hold on, I got a segue. What
From the
yeah, what'd you
last
say the
game I just
hardest mode was
mentioned,
called?
for Xenoblade,
Yeah.
it's Bringer of Chaos.
Speaking of Bringers of Chaos, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands and that horrifying car mode. Jesus
Bro,
Christ,
it's the
why?
return. It's the return
What part of
of Thanos
Nintendo
card. But
what
that's
part of
Kirby card.
Nintendo thought having Kirby look fleshy on top of a car would be cute? That's not cute. That's an eldritch abomination that I've dreamt of in my worst nights of slumber. Get it away from me. I hate it.
There was more funny about that,
What?
and like I think it was like what Kirby's Epic Yarn or something. It was
Yeah.
one of the game
Yeah,
like
you're
the
thinking
or
Epic
like 2D
Yarn.
games where they actually like make him. Actually, no, I think it was like actually that and like the Robot one, for example. Because like they actually make him look like normal instead of just like a monstrosity.
Like some of the other mouthful modes are cute, but the car one is horrifying. I hate it. I'm gonna hate controlling that thing. That thing is gonna be gross. It's, it's
But
showing
I
Kirby's
mean,
Eldritch Abomination heritage, I guess. But I mean, on an actual note, though, the game looks like really fun. 3D Kirby, you bet your ass I'm fucking hyped for that.
I mean,
I
it's
myself am
it's
a bit of a
essentially
Kirby
it's essentially
fan.
Mario. It's essentially the Mario Odyssey of this generation or this year anyway.
The Mario Odyssey of the Kirby series.
Well, I mean, like for this year, because like this year has been kind of like a 2017 2, and Kirby's basically considered the Mario Odyssey of it.
Mm. Well, I will have to, I'll have to play the game before I tell you my opinion on that comparison. But if it's not Mario Odyssey of the Kirby series, I'm sure it'll be a fun game because I always have fun with Kirby games. They're just good times. You just want a good like simplistic platformer. You play Kirby and you go, wow, life is good. I can make something of myself. Life is worth living.
And then there's me. I'm not a Kirby fan, but I usually play like Mario. Granted, I think Kirby looks fine. I just never been interested in this gameplay.
We get it, Tyler. You're a Chris Pratt fan.
Oh, all right. I mean, Chris Pratt as Mario.
Exactly. Oh, Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings getting added. I can't believe they added Sans to the NES to the Nintendo Switch. That's
I
a
mean, it's good when people actually like Earthbound.
huh?
I never played it personally, but I mean, It looks good. I've never played it, but also I like how like this is like the only like RPG people actually fucking play. So whenever like two talking about gameplay, it's like, oh, yeah, I already played Earthbound and Chrono Trigger.
So thank you
That's all
for
I played.
sandbagging my Sans joke first and foremost, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
I basically have the same thoughts you do. I've heard a lot of people say it's good. I'll probably check it out at some point.
I wanted to do that, but I'm like, eh. I may get to it at some point. That actually makes me want to actually play these Switch Online services. I haven't touched that shit in like God, like at least 8 months.
I play it still. I'm going through the oldies. I'm playing Super Mario Land. Yeah, I
Which also
think,
kind of
right?
makes
No, World.
yeah, it's SNES, the Super Nintendo one. It's World.
Yeah, I'm playing World through it right now, and it works. I have a good time with it. It's not as laggy as the fucking Nintendo 64 emulator.
Yeah, I find it funny how like for me anyway, like everyone's like, oh, Switch Online sucks. I'm like, I don't even fucking use it. I only use it for the Wi-Fi, and even then, it's only for like Smash and maybe Mario Kart.
Speaking of tactical RPGs, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Not really. It's not Fire Emblem. I don't care. I'm sorry. Intelligent Systems.
It looks fun. I'll probably get it. I've heard it's good. I don't have much thoughts
I mean, it
besides
probably
that.
is good. I'm just not interested in that type, sort of thing for Intelligent Systems. I'm heavily into the Fire Emblem thing.
Well, and now it's time for Live Alive, the game I didn't expect to be hyped for. I've never heard of it up until this point, but it looked rad as fuck, and I'm gonna get my hands on it when I can because holy shit, it looks rad as fuck. The time
I
travel aspect of it seems rad as fuck. The fact that it was exclusive to Japan and is like getting an official release is rad as fuck. I'm gonna keep using rad as fuck because it sounds nice. It flows off the tongue nicely.
actually, if you like the time travel mechanic, Chrono Trigger is very big on that.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard. If Chrono Trigger ever comes out in a way that I can emulate it easily outside of PC,
SNES
yeah, yeah,
emulator.
Ty, that's what I meant. I meant if it came out officially, I'd get it. But right now, I'm not putting an SNES emulator on my laptop because I already got a Game Boy Advance emulator. I'm living the high life already. I don't want to get too greedy.
The SNES emulator is not going to cost you much storage. I can tell you that for sure.
Store these nuts just for that. I'm moving on. Oh, Portal 1 and 2. I remember you not caring about these games.
I mean, it's cool. It just seems like games that are already kind of big on the Switch, like ages ago.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, hey,
Actually,
puzzle game fans who have had nothing to play, I'm sure they're like, creaming themselves at having like two of the best puzzle games of all time on their console now.
yeah,
But
it's nice for them.
it's time for a speed rush because we've been on this for like 30 minutes again.
Yeah,
MLB The Show 2022. No one cares. Don't care. Didn't ask. Plus
boring.
ratio. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. I'm kind of surprised they're re-releasing that one, but it looks fun. I paused if you had any thoughts, but I guess you didn't.
Not really.
Okay, Disney Speedstorm, Fortnite, but Disney and Kart Racer. There are
It's
my
just a
thoughts.
freaking. It's just a downgrade Mario Kart. Not even worth my time.
No Man's Sky, good for No Man's Sky. I don't think it'll run very well on Switch, but if it
I
does,
mean, it
good
might.
good for them.
Actually, I think they said they're gonna make it from the ground up for the Switch, so it probably will run a lot better.
Well, that's good. I hope if any Switch fans want No Man's Sky, they enjoy it. The Klonoa games, those look cute. Those look fun. I'll probably pick those up when I get the chance. You got any thoughts?
Not really. Nice to see like another a migrant from the Wii coming over to the newer gen consoles.
Oh, Taiko no Tetsujin Rhythm Festival drums. I don't think you're a rhythm game guy, so I don't think you really cared.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet that like Sean and Brandon are just gonna buy that game just for Michael Vane. That's it.
Probably, I could see him doing it. I remember trying to play the Xbox version that they have on Game Pass, but I just don't like the control scheme of it, so I'm not really interested.
Fair enough.
Cuphead Delicious Last Course, probably going to be more Cuphead, so it'll probably be enjoyable. Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
Ezio Collection looks like fucking garbage. Oh, that looks like it's going to run
I'm pretty
awfully.
sure even like the PS4 version ran like shit. So I don't know how they're gonna make it work on the Switch.
Simple, it won't, because Ubisoft does not try.
No, they don't. They can't even make a fucking Uno game work on the Switch.
Kingdom Heart cloud versions, I'd be interested if they weren't cloud versions.
Yeah, there's already been videos of people getting their ass wrecked because it's a cloud version.
SD
Because they
Gundam
can't
Battle
do is
Alliance. It looks cute. I probably won't get it, but hey, you know.
I would. I might get it depending on what the price is. If it's $60, I'm probably not getting it because that's a bit much. If it's like 30, I probably would buy it.
Getsu Fumaden Undying Moon. It looked like a fucking mobile game with the way the what the hell is it called? There's just something about the way it looks as far as like its controls and what it shows on the screen. I forget what the technical name of it is at the moment. I guess overlay, I'll say, but I know that's not what it's called. Something about it just looked really cheap to me, so I have no interest.
I don't even remember that game, so.
Lego Brawls, fuck off. Demon Slayer fighting game. If it's a good fighting game, good for them. I don't think I got quite the interest in it myself. Two Point Campus looks like a Sims style game. I've never really had an interest in those. And Zombie Army 4 looks like schlock. Any thoughts you'd like to share about any of the games I just listed?
Not really.
All right.
The only thing I could mention is that since Demon Slayer is coming to Switch, there's a high probability it's gonna be like the new My Hero One Justice, where it's just gonna be always on sale for like $10. Because oh my fucking god,
Buy the game, Tyler. They need the profits. They need the money.
I don't want to buy My Hero
They
One
need the
Justice. It runs
profits
like ass.
after the
It
One
runs
Punch
like
fighting game
ass.
bombed horribly.
It's funny how that game actually got nominated for Game of the Year.
The One Punch one?
Yeah,
I remember no one liking that or talking about it.
it was either that or it was for Best Fighting Game of the Year. It was one of the two.
Well, there's Nintendo Direct, and you know, we had other stuff, but I think it's a good idea if we just jump into the shows we watched. Any thoughts?
I mean, we could probably talk about the other stuff pretty quickly. It would probably take
All
us that
right, so by other
long.
stuff, you know, games we're currently playing. You want to go first?
For me, mine's pretty simple. I played Legends Arceus. It's good, but I don't think this game is gonna be selling off its story. It's just not that. It's not there yet. Gameplay wise, it's good, and shinies are really abundant in this game. So if you like shiny hunting, I guess go for it. It's just boring as hell. I've beaten 2 runs of SMT5. It's been really fun. I need to go back and finish it. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Those are the 2 major games I've been playing.
For me, I'm playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and contrary to personal opinion, I'm not liking it as much as everyone else. Not nearly as much.
I can't
I
really
think
blame
the
you.
game could convey certain aspects better. I think the map could be a bit smaller, so it doesn't feel like a pain in the ass to travel to places sometimes. Um,
Yeah.
the durability system just flat out sucks. I know that's not a hot take, but you know it bears repeating. Yeah, and I think the contrived ways that they make it harder to get to certain areas is not fun. The fact that you just start randomly catching fire for the lava section, so it makes it so you can't do the main paragliding mechanic without buying a stupid piece of armor at the entrance of it, according to what you told me. I think that
Yeah,
sounds really tedious and not fun, and I'm not a fan of it. So, so far it's a 6 out of 10 game for me. Up
I
next
think
is
I
Panzer
I think
Paladin. I beat it.
1 second, 1 second.
Oh, okay.
I think I've spent at very least 10 hours trying to traverse that fucking map. Like just not even doing anything else, just traversing it.
It's so much bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah, I think they could have cut it down a little bit because, granted, it does look good for a map. Because Modern Soft is a fucking like giga chad when it comes to making maps.
Oh.
Never underestimate Modern Soft. They are like the fucking like beefy big boy ball sacks of the freaking Nintendo Entertainment System at the moment. Because like every fucking open world game they've made has had something to do with Monosoft. And then they also make Digi Blades on top of that, so I think they're the Giga Chaz at the moment.
There you go.
And that's pretty much it.
Another game I played, I actually beat this one. It's Panzer Paladin. If you like older, like 16-bit style games, it'll be your cup of tea. I think the jumping's not as good as it should be for some of the stuff they ask you to do. Um, I'll admit part of the game's difficulty was my fault because I didn't realize that items go to a menu that you can then activate. And once I figured that out, it became easier and more tolerable. But as a whole, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. It's fun, but it's not a game I think I'll ever go back to. And the other game I'm playing is good old Yakuza 5, and I've made it halfway through Taiga's story, and I don't know where the fuck the story's going because I don't see the major thread so far. As long as it's not as convoluted or as fucky wucky as Yakuza 3 or 4 stories, I will be good because I just want a Yakuza story that is as good as Yakuza 2's or Zero's. You know, like I'll take Yakuza 1 story again over like anything that 3 or 4 did
Oh,
as far as
ooh.
like just being way more complicated than they need to be.
Oh.
But the gameplay's still really fucking fun. I enjoy the multiple play styles you get with each character. Each character has their own fighting style. I think that's fun. I think it stops the game from getting like tedious or monotonous. I just like throwing people around like they're nothing with Taiga. It's pretty hype. And they're my gaming opinions.
Do you know what that made me oof about that the most?
Huh?
The Yakuza, when you mentioned Yakuza 1, because then I just remembered, oh yeah, they have that retarded side quest with the fucking shit rag.
Oh, the toilet one?
Yeah,
Yeah, the one where they made it artificially longer in Kiwami from what you told me. Yeah, I
yes, for
completed
no
that side
fucking
mission in
reason.
Kiwami. It's not very fun.
What can you say? He's shitting.
All right.
Alright. So next up, Travis, I sent now this is for Choose Your Legends from Fire Emblem
I
Heroes.
received a
And the reason
mystery email.
the reason why I sent him that, or we're doing this section, is because I wanted Travis's thoughts, live thoughts on Choose Your Legends. Plus, I still play the game. He doesn't much anymore.
I am now
Hopefully,
opening the
like 4 months
document.
after I assume he gets something out of it. All right, so scroll down to the midpoint, and these are the midpoint results.
Crom cringe, Self cringe, Felix cringe, Soren cringe, Robin cringe, Byleth based, Yuri cringe, Sigurd cringe, Sylvain cringe, Alphonse based, Ash cringe, Black Knight based, Itsuki and Crom cringe, Takumi cringe, Korin based, Reinhardt cringe, Lyon cringe, Leo cringe, Xander cringe, Toma and Kane cringe. Uh, for the females, Tiki
And
based, Byleth based, Bernadetta based, Corin based, Hilda based, Azura based, should be number one though, so not as based as it could be. Robin based, Dorothea based, Anna based, Tharja based, Lilina based, Freya, I don't remember. Oh yeah, she's the horny sleep demon based. Alencia,
no, she's the goat.
huh?
She's a goat.
Oh, I thought she was. I thought she was in like the fairy one. I
You're
thought.
you're thinking you're thinking of Plumeria. She's the lewd
Oh
fairy.
well, I don't know who Frey is, so cringe. Cringe for making me look stupid.
No, no, no. You shouldn't be. I will send you. I send you a picture of her swimsuit design.
Lord. Olencia based, Nino cringe because she's a kid, and I gotta look like a good person, kids shouldn't be fighting. They should be in school. Honestly, that's pretty cringe that a kid would have to fight when she should be getting an education. Mia cringe for the same reason. Get an education, stop fighting in wars. Ingrid, Ingrid cringe. Kaida, no thoughts. Tsubasa and
Ada,
Kaida, no thoughts. Petra based. Annette
Sheeta.
cringe.
It's Sheeta.
Huh?
It's Sheeta.
Which one?
I'm pretty sure. You said Kata. It's I think Sheeta.
Oh, well,
Okay, then we have the finals. Now the finals didn't really change much. I just figured like because like this is weird because usually like what happens is like usually the finals and the midpoints are like completely different, but they didn't really change much at all. It's only like a couple slots
alright,
changed. And
so
that's
let's
pretty much
take a
it.
look. See, the winners were Krom cringe, Selef cringe, Felix cringe,
You don't have to go through the whole thing
Soren
again.
cringe, Robin cringe, Byleth based, Yuri cringe, Sigurd cringe, Sylvain cringe, Alphonse based, Ash cringe, Black Knight based, Itsuki and Krom cringe, Takumi cringe, Korin based, Lion cringe. Wow, they really went fuck women on this one. Holy shit, Fire Emblem fans, get some pussy.
No,
God
no, no, no,
damn.
no, 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 no. It's just the male division. It's the male
Oh,
one.
okay.
The female one's the next one
Oh, I
over.
thought this was like all of them. I was like, wow, they really just went fuck
No,
women.
no, they just made it look really weird. I don't know if they did this before, but it
Lion
looks really
cringe,
weird.
Reinhardt uh cringe, Leo cringe, Toma and Kane cringe. Actually, that's Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I never expect Fire Emblem to touch that. So that's actually kind of cool. Xander cringe. Back to my bit.
Yeah, people really want them to add more to Mirage stuff because like they only added that one event and they've done nothing since then.
And then, women are women, and I think women are pretty neat. Except Nino and Mia, they should be getting an edge. And Lilina, actually. Oh no, she's actually like stupidly strong from what I remember. So, but Nino and Mia, you guys need to be getting an education. Lilina's the exception because she's like, I'm pretty sure she's like overpowered in the game. Last I remember.
I,
Azura should actually be
I don't
number
know.
one. That's the only cringe thing here. Twenty
Well,
thousand more
the
people
good,
should have
the good,
voted for
the good thing
Azura
for
than
you,
Tiki.
Travis, is that the less very popular characters are here, the more likely Ozzy's are gonna win.
Well, you know what?
Because
If people
like
weren't fickle and weren't cowards, they would
actually,
realize that Azura is actually a better character than all the ones they like. So, you know,
it's actually kind of funny because Tiki, like, no one expected Tiki to get this far at all, but she just swept the competition.
she's Dami Mommy Tiki too. So, even better.
Well, it's weird because she has not gotten a single alt whatsoever.
Well, I guess
This
she's
one
getting
has
one
not. It's
now.
only it's only the it's only the kid one that has gotten like the
Well, the
alts
Dami Mommy one's gonna get one now with those amount of votes. I guarantee you.
and more because they usually use this to like based off what they're gonna do for like seasonal events and
Oh, I
stuff. So
just
that means they
realized
probably
Hilda's the Dami Mommy version. It's not the kid version. It's the adult Dami Mommy Hilda based. Hello, base department.
well she also hasn't gotten the game yet. Well, I mean that version in particular. They've gotten the regular one.
Anna from Awakening because ain't no one choosing the Three Houses version that just isn't a character.
I mean, I wish they actually allowed you to actually do something with her, but I guess they're like, yeah, we don't feel like doing Awakening
I apologize
again.
for speed rushing that. I didn't even plan it to be a bit, but I genuinely don't care about most of the guy character designs or the ones I actually do
Fair
know. I
enough.
don't think they're anything special.
Fair enough. I just wanted your thoughts on it because I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting because, like, I mean, you
I think,
still
I
like Fire
think
Emblem, so
this
you at least know what I'm talking about when I say with these characters.
I think this might be a bit of a hot take, but I think, something tells me that the Fire Emblem fan base really likes.
You kind of cut out there for me.
Oh yeah, because I moved away from my mic for point 0.5 seconds. Something tells me that Fire Emblem Heroes fans really love Chrom. Just a
Yeah,
guess.
I was gonna find it so hilarious if he got cucked out of first place. That would have been the funniest shit I have ever seen. Because this is what exactly happened last year. He got cucked out of getting into second place by Marth, which is hilarious in its own right. And honestly, I'm just not a fan of Crumb. He's like a I don't know. I think he's like a poor man's Ike.
Mm.
Like, I think the other male characters that have gotten in so far, minus maybe like Elliewood, I think are all just like cooler. Like, especially because I'm a Ulm fanboy, so I'm gonna fucking defend Ulm to the fucking day I die.
On that note, I think it's time we talk about the 2 fall shows we watched. By the way,
Yes.
what time do we gotta wrap things up?
I'd say probably around 10, so
Okay,
we
so
can
we
keep
got a
going
bit
a
of
little
time.
bit.
Should we start with the fall stuff or the winter stuff then? This is staying in the podcast because professionalism is
I
for the
would
weak.
I would say we just do Komi-san that we actually finished that
All
show,
right,
and
that's fair.
since
Well, with that said, let's talk about episode 3 of Komi-san and how Tyler's favorite character of the whole series was introduced. It's okay. I'll be eating shit in episode 4. Just keep that in mind.
I hate her. I hate her so much. I have never wanted to see a character get fucking shot so much more than this fucking character. Or at least, like, not so much shot, just, like, kicked off the show.
So what you're saying
Good
is
fucking
Agari is
God.
your waifu of 2022 so far.
Oh, God, I'd rather fucking kill myself. Every time he showed up on screen, I wanted to die. And that's no fucking joke.
Yeah, so,
He can vouch for this. I groaned so hard every time I saw her. I was like, please, if you make this episode based on her, I'm going to want to die.
yeah,
Granted, he
groaning
had
when
the
you
same
see a
thing
side character
happen.
you don't like. That'll be a recurring theme of of the Komi-san's review.
Yeah, some of these side characters are just god awful. I wish they just didn't exist.
So that's right.
Like,
So the only things that happened were her being introduced and her not being the best, and
yeah,
Osuna being I consider him a main character, or him, her, they. I consider them a main character. So when I say side characters, Osuna is not included because Osuna is nearly in
yeah.
every single bit of this season and like every
I don't know.
episode.
Isn't he count as a side character for the freaking reason? And it's retarded because he's like a main character at this point.
Yeah, no,
He's like, it's
he's
basically the main trio.
right,
It's not the main duo, it's a trio. He's in every fucking scene.
right. They are part of the trio. I gotta say they. Because I don't know I don't know
Well,
how the show actually
well,
identifies Osuna, so I'm not going to assume.
well, I just said he, but I don't. I think he's actually one of the better characters in the show.
Oh,
So
without a
please
doubt.
don't kill me.
I don't like,
Please don't
I
kill
don't
me.
actively like just groan internally whenever I see them pop up.
No, it's actually the funny enough. It's the women that make me run this fucking show. Minus like Comey and like a
Speaking
few other characters.
speaking to the worst episode of of the show, I'm just going to get this out the way. Episode 4 is fucking abhorrent. Holy fucking shit. This episode might be one of the worst things I've watched this year so far. Oh my god.
It's funny because well, for me, for example, for context, I actually like Yandere characters a lot of the time because for one, they tend to be hot. But I do not like this character, even though I'm a fan of this like character arc. I do not like this character, so I'm actually with Travis on this for once.
Dude, just they don't
And
come
it's
up with
sad
any
when
new
I say I don't like it.
they
It's sad.
the yandere jokes have been stale to me ever since Renai Boken tried doing it and I realized, wow, this isn't funny. This just makes me feel actively terrible for the main character. Like I feel bad for the main character. I'm not laughing. I'm just hoping he gets out of here safely and away from her.
Also, I mentioned this that essentially, if this series was older, she would be the one doing the Code Geass desk scene, not whoever did it in
Man,
in
I'm
Code
so
Geass.
glad. I'm so glad you decided to just keep that bit from your notes.
Because you know what? I think that actually is what she would be doing. I'm not even fucking kidding.
Yeah,
I ain't thinking Travis
Komi-san's
would really
desk.
done
You
that.
think she'd be going to the edge of Komi-san's desk and just, going in
But she
circles?
hasn't yet. I'm surprised she hasn't yet.
Don't give them ideas. Don't give them ideas. We've just created some horrible fan art. I want you to know someone out there is going to concoct this, and we are to blame.
How's it? My counter argument is how does it not already exist?
You're right. It could possibly. I just think we're the creators of it now, unfortunately. I guess to go on more general notes, I didn't find the episode funny.
No.
I didn't find Yamai to be funny. I don't think her being forgiven is a satisfying conclusion considering what she did.
No.
I like the more serious moment before Yamai's forgiven. Like I like how Komi-san's actually concerned about what the hell happened to Tadano. But other than that, this was a fucking rough episode to sit through. Holy shit.
Yeah, neither. I don't even think I was even having much fun with this episode. This one just kind of even getting to me. I was like, oh my god, please just stop.
Episode
But
5.
episode 5, also known as when the best character shows up, the mommy milkers. Also known as I got bored in some of these episodes, so I basically some of the episodes just came out. If the mom showed up, this is a banger episode. If she didn't show up, it's a fucking shit tier episode.
That's right. So I remember from my notes, I don't remember a lot about this episode, but apparently, according to me of the past, Augury was her least cringe in this episode. Yamai was tolerable because she wasn't there very often. And it introduced the side character who I actually liked because it just wasn't a one-dimensional fucking, hey, what joke can we come
Oh
up
yeah,
with?
wasn't this the character that tried to actually help Komi and
No, this is
Tadano,
the
right?
Chunibyo.
Oh yeah, that's oh yeah,
This is the
yeah,
Chunibyo
yeah.
or
I don't know
Naka
why I didn't
Naka.
realize that. Yeah, the Chibio's
I
good.
remember thinking she was going to be a lot worse because I saw Chunibyo and I know how overplayed the Chunibyo style jokes are, and I'm not a fan of like awkward style comedy in general. But I liked that it was like actually addressed as just Naka Naka just being like socially unaware and socially well, not unaware, socially awkward, and just like thinking that's the only way that to like really deal with it. It's nice when a side character has actual dimensions to them and aren't just like one character trait regurgitated over and over
Yeah.
again. Ayamaya Nagari.
Also another thing, the mom needs to get a job at Starbucks.
Yeah, that's right. Tyler, if someone could make an art piece of just Komi-san's mom doing the whole breast milk bit for Tyler, he'll pay you an exposure.
Yeah. I'll give you a shout out on my Twitter account.
Oh
the
yeah,
30,
your very
the
famous,
30
very popular
followers.
Twitter account. Uh, yeah.
I maybe post on
I
occasion.
think my main complaint at this up to this point of the series was just that like side characters kept getting introduced and like none of them really got established, which I'm glad that started to slow down around like episode like
Yeah.
6, I think.
Well, I mean, they introduced new characters, but they actually they weren't ungodly, and they're like, "Oh, I remember you. I don't remember you, but I remember you, right?"
Right.
Like, for example, the hairdresser,
Oh, the
the two women
hairdresser
from the
girl who
hairdresser.
just like we
Yeah, the
confused
hair
for a
salon.
completely different classmate at some point.
Yeah.
Ay,
Also, episode 6 is also known as the beach episode. Well, I mean, as close as the beach episode we're gonna get.
right. Yeah, my thoughts. Yep, you put bikini Comey mommy milkers. I will not let you live that down. You will pay for what you write. Yeah, it was a cute episode overall. Oh, that's
Yeah, I think
right.
I
They did a
wasn't gonna say
casual
it.
attire thing, and everyone was mean to Auguries, and it's the only time I felt bad for Auguries. I was like, bro, that is the most casual. A sundress is not casual attire. I get it looks good on her, and the bit was an excuse to dress her up, but fuck you. Augury was right. The rest of you were wrong. Feel bad. Yep, the hairstylist section. I didn't care for the hairstyle assistant, but I just kind of liked how the actual hairstylist herself was just used to Comey and knew how to communicate with her. I found that neat
Yeah.
and showing that people can communicate with Comey if they put effort into it, which is kind of the whole point of the show, is to like not treat socially people who have communication disorders or social disorders as like, people who don't deserve to be talked to or people who don't want to be talked to. So, I found that a nice way of
Um,
like reestablishing the point of the show.
the only other thing I can mention for this episode, I thought all the outfits looked pretty nice.
You
I
would,
mean,
wouldn't you?
half of them,
That's a
half
child,
of them look.
Tyler. Go to jail.
Fuck you. I said half for lewd reasons, half because they actually look good. Okay.
Yeah, not too much to this one. It was a fun little beach episode. It is what it is. They're either nice or you just roll your eyes and they get over with. And this was a case of one being nice. I guess episode 7 was the pool episode. I guess. Oh, that's. I guess. I guess they must have done an outfit dress up to lead up into the actual beach episode. I guess 6
Oh,
of itself was
oh,
not.
that's what it was. That's what it was. I completely forgot. Oh, I remember. I was hyping up the beach episode because that's what they were talking about the whole fucking episode. Now I remember. Okay, episode 7 is the actual beach episode.
Okay, sorry for the misinformation. I don't want to be accused of being fake news. I blame Tyler. It's his fault. He took
Oh,
advantage of the autistic
right.
co-host.
Cool.
imagine, imagine if someone actually goes after you and accuses you of that now. Oh, I'd feel awful. It's a bit before anyone
Yeah,
takes
and then
that
I'm gonna tell them I was
seriously.
in the hospital. I don't give a shit about your fucking drama.
Yeah, episode 7 was the cute beach episode.
Like you can do whatever the fuck you want to me at this point. I don't care. I was in the fucking hospital because I almost fucking died. So I say fuck you.
Fair enough. Oh, that's right. That's right, because all the pointless side characters were also there, just to reestablish, hey guys,
Yeah.
did you know the class sees Comey as a goddess? And it's like, hey, show, guess what bit I don't care about? That section.
Guess whose characters I don't give a shit about? Half of these, and then they also have like just some random characters that, like they maybe mention like once, like
Yeah,
the
they
fucking
they show up
Naruto
bits
guy.
and pieces, but they like don't even have names.
Yeah. And there's one. There was like I think one character that had like no face whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah. There was one that they just did draw with no face. Other than the beach or the pool
Also,
section.
I rated this episode 0 out of 10 because no mommy milkers in a bikini.
Yeah, no Comey-san's mom in a bikini, if that's what you were looking forward to.
Yeah,
Uh,
that would make this an automatic 11 out of 10 show.
other than that, I thought Comey and her dad, I thought the scene between them was nice. If we get more scenes like that in the future with them, I'm down for that.
Also, every time I see that fucking dog character, my part of my soul dies.
Uh,
Every time.
Oh, and that's right. And then Tadano seeing Comey do nicer, cute things. That was a nice little wholesome moment of just him like
I
running into
think
her on accident.
if I remember correctly, this is like kind of like where the start, like the major like push for the romance between Comey and Tano really start.
Yeah, well, not the push. I'd say it's like the beginning of it. They haven't really pushed
Well,
hard
I'd
into
say
it
like
yet.
push from. I'm not saying it's like push. I mean it's like kind of like the store
Oh,
cap
the
pushing
turning
more
point
to
from
that
just
route.
friendship into romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say this was the episode probably where that started.
And as you may be aware, I am an expert in this genre. I've watched like fucking 400 of these fucking genre shows, so I know what I'm talking about. And if you say I don't, you're a fucking fraud.
And then episode 8, that's right, episode 8 started really weirdly with like it just kind of shows Comey's extended family and they don't pop up again for the rest of the season, but they pop up here. So I guess they have a point later on in the show or they just popped up because they needed some quick opening. Couldn't tell you.
They're gonna pull a Chinibyo ending when the main character runs to the girl to take her whisk her away on a bike or something. So I believe that was the ending for I want to say season 1 or 2, one of the two. I don't remember. It's been so fucking long since I've watched the show.
And then I think this was the point where I realized the romance aspect was being kicked in on because it's like Comey was thinking about a person she might have a crush on or something, or it got brought up and she blushed.
This is also the episode where I think the Yandere broke into the house. Oh
Probably.
no, it's because she barged into Tana's house,
No, it
and then
wasn't
I made a
Tadano's.
joke.
It was Nakanaka's house. Because Komi goes to Nakanaka's, and I was like, cool, the Chunibyo character, who I actually like, who they just like neglected ever since she like appeared for the first time. So her and Komi communicating, or her and Komi having a scene together, that was nice. And then Yamai showed up, and it was like I did my internal groan because I
Okay,
do
wait,
not
maybe it
like
was both.
Yamai as a character.
I remember they did both, where they had it where the stupid Yandere chick went into the house of Tadano. I remember that for a fact. I just don't remember which episode it
Probably
was.
episode
I think it
4.
was
Are you
this
thinking?
episode.
No, no,
I,
that's
I
probably later.
remember.
Actually, that's probably later.
I want to feel like it's this one, but I might be wrong.
No, because
I just
remember they
remember
end up
because
gaming at Nakanaka's. They play the knockoff Smash Bros.
was the dog character there?
What?
So I have a thing here right for that dog character, the
Dog
dog girl.
character wasn't there.
Okay, then this is the episode then, because I have a specifically note here. I think. Okay.
Wait, yeah, no. Where did Yamai pop up in this episode? Maybe you are right, but I don't remember that.
I feel like because I know they did both. I just don't remember which episode it was because the episodes kind of just molded together at a certain point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're
Made up
cute,
by them a
but
bit.
I guess on to episode 9 with this confused state in mind. Oh, that's right. We got another side character who's a nothing character besides reminding the audience, hey guys, do you know the school sees Komi as a goddess? With the whole country girl bit.
Um, and this is honestly where I started to consider lowering the score of the show
Yeah,
to
this
six
was
out of
like this
10.
is the point where you were considering dropping it for a minute. I could feel it. You were like not amused with the country girl bit.
He's like, I'm getting so for this show in particular. Like, I don't mind side characters, is that when they keep introducing them so fucking much, I get annoyed after a while. Because
Tyler,
like then you're taking away from actual good characters I actually could use this time.
I have good news. I figured it out. Episode 8 must have been the one where Yamai went to Tadano's house and I just forgot about it because I
Okay,
I know what happened. I part of my notes got popped off, and this kind of wish Nakanaka. I was thinking, what the fuck happened to her? Because she just disappeared off the face of the earth after episode 5, and then episode 9 answered that, and that's where Komi goes to Nakanaka's house.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So the 8 was the one.
Yep, 8 was the one where Yamai probably broke it or went to Tadano's unexpectedly.
Yeah, and I made a joke that if she tried to break into my house, there'd be a gunshot going off. If the dog girl also tried to do the same thing, there'd be shots going off.
You'd put her down old Yeller style.
I put both of them down the old Yower style.
Yeah, that's right. Because
God,
I actually enjoyed the Nakanaka section because Nakanaka's
I
more
did
than a
too.
one note character.
Like Nakanaka is like one of the most tolerable characters in this show by a long shot. I know it doesn't say a lot when most of these characters I want to see freaking drop from the show entirely, but Jesus, man.
Yeah, I kind of do hope some of the side characters pop up a bit less often. Some of the
Yeah, I mean, from what we've been hearing from like the later parts of Komi-san, it does happen with like the Yandere character, for example, which thank fucking God. But I'm still not really amused with this show, and I do not see where all the. I mean, it's probably just for Komi-san. Let's be real here. It's probably
it's
just for
Komi-san and Tadano. That's what holds the show together because that's the actual good part of the show. Oh, and Osana's there too.
But,
Osana's another part of the good
but
part.
the thing is that you shouldn't have to dig through all the bad for the good.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to dig through like the
Not when it's like a daily occurrence with this show.
on to episode 10. Oh, that's
It
right.
looks.
That's right. Here's
Oh,
where we got like the best side character in the series.
yeah, it's the one
Onamine,
girl.
yeah, the one who was nice to Tadano first instead of Komi.
Thank whoever thought this character was a good idea. Thank you. You are the best thing that happened to this fucking show. I swear to God.
This isn't even a bit. I fully agree. As far as side
Oh
characters
my
go,
God.
I fully agree. You know how much
is
nicer it is to
very
watch a
standard.
show when the main character just isn't being treated like shit by everyone else compared to Comey?
Oh
Like,
my
holy
god.
fuck, dude.
This was definitely like this actually did make this boost the series up a little bit
Like,
for me.
figurative
For
round of
time.
applause for Onamine because she is the best side character up to this point.
If they are to bring some of these side characters back and use them more often, I want her and the Shinibyo character to be used more often. Like, I'd be fine. It was just those guys, like Komi's mom for fan service, and then Tadano and Komi-san. That's all I would need for the show, and it would be a good show. That's all I would want.
That's right. And here,
The
because
moment
I remember after watching this in the Onamine, I just thought to myself, wow, wow, oh, wow. I sure wish that the like people would recognize that most of Komi-san's class are like objectively awful people to Tadano, but I guess we won't address that. And then Onamine was nice to Tadano, and I just sang Hallelujah in my head. I was like, oh
also
my
by this
god, a
point,
side
that
character
whole
who's not a
bit.
piece of shit to the main character. It's been so long
What?
since Nakanaka was introduced.
Also, that bit was getting really old by this point.
Yeah. And then, hey, you know
I
the
don't know
best
how
parts
people
about
can talk
episodes
about
11
it.
and 12?
Is it because they focus on Komi-san and fucking Tadano?
Yes, and also for side
Right.
characters, it's Onamine and the Otori, who's just the girl who's like really dim, or not dim-witted, but like airheaded.
Isn't it the country one?
No, no, Otori's the one who just like talks really slowly or just like randomly disappears whenever others are having conversations.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, never mind.
she's the one who got Komi-san to like actually talk for like a millisecond, who got like a word out of her. It was nice.
Honestly, this episode was good.
And the fact
The
that
the
I forgot Tadano cross dresses in this one, which gave me working vibes, which Tyler hates, but I think is an absolute banger of a show.
also I give the show props because the milk was on screen for 0.5 seconds, so 10 out of 10 episode.
Yeah.
Aside from that,
No, just a fun culture festival episode.
yeah,
Um,
they didn't focus as much on the yandere, and then when they did focus on her, they kind of just swept her underneath the rug. Thank fucking god.
the only thing, I guess another thing I can give, they had the whole maid master section where it was like, a 32-year-old otaku going to a maid cafe, and I'm glad that instead of him being a creep and like just talking about how hot they were or something, it was like a different type of bit. So, good job, Komi-san, for that. And then episode 12 concludes the cultural festival stuff, and it ends on karaoke, which is a neat way to tie the opening. And, it was a nice way to show both first that Komi-san's communication disorder is still going on, and that Tadano is like encouraged to do his best by Komi. You have any thoughts on episode 12 before we get to overall thoughts?
They're doing good so far with the romance pitches. Do not put a rent a girlfriend. I swear to God, do not pull it. I don't want another NTR dumb shit series. Please stop. No.
Yeah, I guess my overall thoughts are, as you can tell, I wish they would put more focus on Komi and Tadano, and I wish if they have side characters, I kind of hope for more Osanas, more Onamines, more Nakanakas and Otoris, and less Agaris, Yamais, and basically like a large portion of Komi's class.
And then for me, I think this makes for a good starting point for the second half, or like season two, whichever you want to call it. But my biggest criticism of the show is that it was not funny for a lot of sections of the time, and I'm not even like I don't even find anime usually that funny, so it's even worse for me. So, and then there were quite a few occurrences where I very much considered lowering the score of the show to like a 6 to 5 out of 10. This show definitely did test my patience a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah, I don't
but
fully forgive it for
it did
episode
redeem
4.
itself. It did redeem itself a bit. I just hope that they do a better job in the next season. Otherwise, this show is. Otherwise, I'm going to consider this show a highly overrated show because it kind of is. It still is now, but at least I can justify it with some of the stuff that they do.
Right. Yeah, no. So as a final score, I would give it a 7 out of 10.
But I will give it this: that if the season two improves itself, kind of like a clown and after story piece to it, all will be forgiven at that point. Because I am willing, because there are shows that have done that before, or are boring as fuck, like Clan Ad, but after story makes up for everything.
Right.
If they can pull that off, the show will be, I will consider it a really good of the genre, but currently it's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about right.
And since
But it's okay, Tyler,
we're at
because the light at
9:14,
the end of the tunnel wasn't Komi-san. It was the Onamine. All hail Onamine.
I would suggest for now we honestly just put Sakugan on hold. Like, I know we have the notes here, but I think since for our time, I think we should just have it to
Yeah,
where like we
sorry,
just talk
sorry to
about
all
one
you
episode per
Sakugan fans.
episode.
You're just gonna have to wait for our thoughts after we've actually finished the show.
Yeah, I think that actually be better because right now we are already like halfway through and it's kind of just teetering on like mediocre
With that
territory.
said, Attack on Titan, or as I like to call it, holy shit, mind fuckery, absolute mind fuckery. Jesus Christ, Aaron, you absolute mad bastard. How do you keep doing this?
Also, headshot.
Fuck, it wasn't even a headshot, it was a neck shot. It was like such a good
Headshot.
neck shot that it decapitated him. I'm not going through this in an episode order
Also,
again.
also, also, I'm gonna say this. When Gabby shot that, she should have been fucking flying. Basically, you cannot tell me that fucking little
I
twerp
think she
is
was
going
laying down.
to
That's the reason
stand.
why she didn't fly away, as you put it.
I thought it was crouching.
Well, either
If
way,
she was
would it
crouching,
have really added to the tension
there's
if you
no
just saw
fucking
this
way.
little girl go wee after shooting a gun?
Yeah, but it makes no sense. That
And
fucking
also
little
the
twerp
fact
is
she's a
not gonna
trained
fucking
soldier,
stand.
Tyler.
I don't care if she's trained or not. Her weight capacity is not gonna keep her from going flying from firing a 50 cal bullet. That just or an anti tank rifle. She's gonna go flying backwards.
So yeah, no, if we want to jump back a bit, episodes 1 and 2 were like basically picking up right where final season part 1 ended. The fight with
Yeah.
Reiner and Eren was really fucking good. You know, I like Reiner as a character quite a bit now. I didn't really care for Al. I didn't dislike him,
When
but I didn't
they
think he was anything special until final season happened. And then just the full
when
context
they
of
redeem
everything.
Reiner,
Huh?
when they actually find a way to redeem Reiner as a character.
Well, I didn't think he was irredeemable because it was like once the whole
Well,
like,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like this is where you like actually start to
oh,
really
where he
develop
like
his
shines as a
character.
character. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And then episode 2, oh yeah, that's right. Episode 2, it's because like firstly, it just showed how fucking brutal that the assault on Paradise was to both the Paradise people and fucking Marley. And also, I liked how Mikasa seemed to like move away from idolizing Eren because Mikasa's kind of been one of my least favorite characters because it's just kind of been like, why do you idolize this person in a way? Like it was kind of like it felt more obsessive than like because I know people say like Falco could be like a counter or like a an opposite or a different lens to Mikasa, kind of like how Gabby is to Eren. But I think the main difference is like Falco, he's like a little kid and he's like in love, and I get that Mikasa was that way at point, and maybe she didn't move on from that point. But I don't know if the show ever did a good job in establishing that, at least for me. But that could honestly just be me missing something. I'm fully willing to admit that because the show didn't really fully click for me until until honestly final season. And then I looked back and I was like, how did I rate these other seasons like only sevens? Some of these were like really good. What the fuck was I smoking? Sorry about that.
Also, no, you're fine. Also, I love episode two because like they're like this whole scene was like, please don't scream,
Oh, that's
Zeke.
episode 3.
No, it's two.
No, that's if
No,
you're
it's
talking where
two.
they try to
It's
beg Zeke
two.
not
I
to.
have to know. I have to know. I have
Yes,
to know.
that's
Okay.
because they were going to talk to him. Episode 3 is where they fucking talk to him.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well,
Episode
I just
3 is
find
the
it.
one where they flat out beg him and he just goes, "Sorry, gotta save my brother." in one of the most terrifying scenes of this show. And I do not say that lightly. Jesus, you want to talk about Titans being fucking horrifying? Just, just watching all of these innocent people just forcibly turned into them due to one guy wanting to euthanize his whole people is just like really fucked. And then you think about the fact that like Falco's brother dies like as the last minute trying to protect Falco from transforming, and it's just like Jesus, Zeke, you really are an evil bastard.
Yeah. Also, an episode that ripped 90% of the Amon cast. They're pretty much gone now.
Yeah, most of the military.
Yeah, pretty much all of them,
Yeah,
especially
it's
the one mustache guy.
it was fucking rough. It just Jesus. Oh, and then episode 4 is the episode where just Aaron and Zeke go like travel through his father's memories, and then they just casually reveal, oh, by the way, the Attack Titan can see into the future, and then a whole lot of shit makes sense from other scenes and shit that they've teased on the show, and you're just like, oh, Aaron, Aaron knew, huh?
It's funny how like we like nowadays people are gonna look back at like season one for example, and they're gonna see like where this shit happens, and it's all just gonna click.
Right? I think the show's very
Like
tightly written. I don't. I've heard people say the ending's bad, but I even if it has an underwhelming ending, I don't think that'll take away from how tightly everything else has been written.
yeah, no, I was actually one of the ones saying that so far, but I'd say the story of the show is pretty solid so far.
Like the fact that it
Because I
recontextualizes Aaron's disgust with his father over slaughtering like the whole like Reese family into Aaron going, "Hey dad, guess what you should do?" and convincing him to is such a mind fuck. It's like, oh, just holy fuck, this show's so good so far. I fucking love this show.
and then I find it funny because it was Ryder was never the bad guy. It was always Aaron from the all along. It's been Aaron
Right?
when he's like fighting Titans in the to save the people of Paris Island. It wasn't actually for the good. It was for his benefit, I guess you could say.
Well, I mean, to be
Actually,
fair, he
also
genuinely
I
wants to
think it,
protect the people of Paradis. It's just like he wants to fuck up the rest of the world to protect Paradis. That's where the issue comes. He wants to genocide everyone else but Paradis.
yeah.
And speaking of, episode 5.
The light cannibalism,
Yep, yep.
also known as the Ymir's backstory.
Also, I figured it out. The King Fritz in Ymir's backstory and the guy who ended up moving to Paradis, those are separate characters.
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, and then I looked into it, and it's like
Also, do you want to mention how crappy the opening is? We haven't done that at all for this
I
show.
just want to hype the show up before I talk about its fucking disappointing opening.
Okay. Alright, we can do that.
It's like this is another really fucking good episode. It shows Ymir fucking what a weird thing that the origin of the Titans turned out to be. I don't know how that'll play into anything, but that was fucking weird in a good way. The fact that it was just some random thing that caused it and has caused this like
Actually, now that I think about it, it seems more some similar to like Berserk, where it's like people don't really realize that this stuff exists and then it just exists.
right. Also the
Because that's
fact
what
that
happens when you
Aaron
just work on this
also the
series.
fact that Aaron gets away with doing the rumbling and then you're reminded, "Oh, that's right, colossal titans were in the walls." And then you go, "Oh shit, colossal titans were in the walls."
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, the show's so good, which is why it's such a shame that the opening sucks so fucking hard.
Yeah. We have already decided that we're just skipping an opening from now on because it is such a downgrade compared to the last
If you
opening.
remember all
It's
of the
not even fun.
subtlety and like nuance of just showing the brutality of war that season 4 part 1's opening is, just prepare to have any like subtlety of anything taken away by this opening, and it's just like, why did you do this opening sucks as both a song excuse me, as both a song and in terms of animation. Just
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that.
the ending's
Like,
good though. The ending's quite good.
yeah. I remember the ending being pretty solid.
And with that said, it's time to move on to the next show.
Also, I don't think they still haven't confirmed how many episodes it is, but I still think that it's gonna be like maybe 10 episodes long. I don't see it being 12, but if it was to be 12, I could see
I'm
it. It's
thinking
not gonna
there's
be more
more
than
to the
12
show
though.
than you think there is. I'm thinking, from what I
I
recall, I won't
don't think
spoil
so.
anything, but from what I recall from like when I read the wikis, I think there's a bit more than you think there is.
I mean, there's probably enough for like maybe 12 episodes, but I don't think it's gonna be more than that. I genuinely don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too.
I just I just don't think it's gonna be like ridiculously long. Like it's not gonna be like a 24 episode series.
Oh no, I don't
Hell
think it'll
no.
be 24. I
I
think
think it'd be like
I think it'll be
10 to 12.
16
That's
like the first
max.
part.
I think it's gonna be 10 to 12, but we'll see what happens.
With that said,
Okay,
let's
so
move on
next,
to a show that you really like. That being My Dress Up
yeah,
Darling.
this show definitely exploded in popularity, and I was definitely part of the reason because holy shit, this show is really fucking good. It is probably my favorite anime of the season, minus Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan's good, but I'm honestly tired of Attack on Titan at this point. I want new shit, so
I kind of get you, but with the writing of Attack on Titan, I'm willing to stick with it. Like if the writing like
yeah,
downgraded, like I'd get it, but I think the writing's the strongest it's been on Attack on Titan.
yeah. No, it's been good. I'm just saying, like, I'm more excited to see the series finally like have a conclusion,
I
so
get
that
you.
way we can go like another series and in a new series to kind of step into the ring.
And that new
The
series
romantic
stepping
success.
into the ring is gonna be My Dress Up Darling.
Yes, because this holy fucking shit, this series exploded in pop. When I say exploded, I mean it. Like she's like honestly probably like close to 0 2 levels of exploding.
Yeah, if you've seen any pictures of Kitagawa, which is like the blonde girl in the like bikini, in the swimsuit
Yeah,
bikini,
this
that's
is
her.
familiar.
A lot of people like that character, which I can't blame them. She's a good character. I think both characters are good. I think episode one's a good setup. I don't got much to say about episode one. I just thought it was a good setup. Characters being well
The
done.
only thing I say, only thing I say is that I like the characters already from episode one, and I watched both the back to back. I'm like, I ended up having to go and check. I checked about like, are we watching this together? But if we weren't, I was like, we're gonna watch it together. This show is really fucking good. Because I initially started looking at it because of I think it was Smut on Twitter,
I
to be frank.
respect the
But
honesty.
it caught my attention. I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll give it a chance. Since before this, I wasn't really that interested in watching shows at the time on my own. But this one kind of piqued my interest, and I just went from there.
Right, I get you. I get you. I get you.
Uh, Also, speaking of this, this is the episode with the bikini scene. There is a very underrated outfit in this, and it's her in the freaking jean shorts. Holy
Oh,
fuck!
episode two. Yeah, episode two is what
Yes,
exploded it.
that one's underrated as fuck. Holy shit! How is there not more smut of that? Explain that to me.
I could not tell you.
I find I find it potentially more attractive than the fucking bikini.
Yeah, no. If you want to know why, the episode two is where this show exploded, and that's where the bikini comes from.
Yeah,
This show, this was the fan servicey episode, but it did have a point. Also, it was kind of a
yeah,
creative way to do fan service. I'll give it that. No, it was nice fan service. A nice fan servicey episode that, actually continued the plot and, just didn't feel like
yeah.
it was there to be there.
And then episode three
Oh, that's right. That
was it
was,
the store shopping, right?
yes, shopping and Gojo trying to avoid Kitagawa at school because of peer pressure. He felt,
Yeah. Also, I'll give it all to this. He respects your fucking time because he doesn't do the dumb shit that some authors would do, which is just carry out the stupid drama for like episodes. Here, it's just like they address the problem, they figure out the solution, and they continue the story.
yeah, basically.
For this genre, that is a fucking godsend. Because holy shit, some shows do not know how to fucking do that.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Rent a Girlfriend. I'm looking at you, Nisekoi. I'm looking at any other show that does this stupid shit. I fucking hate you. Please leave me alone.
yeah, no, it was a good episode. You all right? I do like how they actually resolved that issue relatively quick. She noticed it. She talked to him. They talked. and they figured it out. And then the shopping bit was fun and cute too. And
Also,
I also
yeah.
like how it shows that Kitagawa is like genuinely happy to have Gojo around. Like, I feel like some
Well, I
rom-coms
think it
don't
was
do a
also
good job
because
showing that, but this one like actually shows that like Kitagawa
yeah,
enjoys Gojo's company.
I think it was also due to the fact that like they both have a secret side that they don't really. I mean, they actually I shouldn't say that. They have a side to them that they really enjoy, but most people wouldn't really consider normal. I guess you could say. So
Right.
they kind of can. They're alike in that way.
Right. Then episode 4,
Um,
aka Gojo overworks himself for a whole episode.
uh, Also, the grandfather sees. Oh wait, we gotta mention the episode. They
No,
have
that's
episode
episode
two.
3. Yeah, at the end of episode.
No. That was episode
Is that
two,
episode
where
2?
that was
You're right.
episode
Yep,
two.
it is episode 2.
They show and fun fact about the scene at the end of the show, well the episode anyway. They had a scene where Gojo was playing the
Visual novel.
18 plus visual novel, and apparently, from what I was hearing, is that this because this series has blown up so much, the studio is actually going to animate that
And it's
for the global
basically it's a
release.
porn scene.
Yeah,
So, uh my dress up darling fans are eating good if that's true.
I mean
AKA
I'm buying
me.
Blu-ray now.
I'm eating good.
I'm going to buy the Blu-ray. This show is if it keeps going the way it is, it's become a seller,
Oh yeah.
and it's definitely filled the void of Rent to Girlfriend. Because Rent to Girlfriend is I don't know how. How did I manage to buy 4 volumes of that? I regret this decision so much.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Also, in the beginning of the episode, Rip Grandpa's back because he just casually stock and just fly up from the friggin' bag.
Yeah, no, episode 4 was just, it showed unhealthy aspects of Gojo with him just overworking and not willing to talk things out or, like, explain things or disagree with people. And then I also like how Kitagawa realized her mistake with her mentioning the anime thing being 2 weeks away, and like how she thought of it and how he thought of it, and how she genuinely felt bad for that misinterpretation.
Yeah.
That was nice to
Also,
see.
another thing I want to mention about this episode is I got scared for a bit there because of Friend to Girlfriend, and I'm gonna be banking on this series for a fucking while, so you better get used to it. There was a kind of like a weirdly over showing of a molestation ad on the train, and I was so fucking worried for a minute. Like, do not pull this shit. For the love of God, do not pull this shit, please.
Yeah, no, I am glad
I
that
was
they.
scared shitless. I was scared so much for that.
Yeah, I probably would not have enjoyed this episode as much if they'd have tackled that because Japan has a history of not doing a good job at covering that with like any sort of like in any way that's actually helpful to victims.
Yeah, I would have actually been
Hi, Future
pissed.
Diary. How are you with two, not one, but two molestation backstories?
Aside from that, I another for this because we watched this around Breath Attack and tie-in. I forgot to mention this, but both episodes for that week, which is I believe episode 4, both went really like fast. Like they didn't feel like they were long at all. They felt like really short, and not in a bad way, in a really good way.
I agree with you. Also,
I
thank you for
explained it poorly.
sandbagging my Future Diary joke.
Then we got episode
Come on, man. At least a
5.
reaction. Come on.
Yes, I know they had rape scenes. Okay,
That wasn't
let's move on. I don't want to talk about rape scenes anymore.
okay. Well, now you've made me look like the bad guy, so let's move on. Episode 5.
um.
This was them at the anime con
Oh
itself.
yeah. Also, thank you animators for the boob bag scene. Thank you.
As a boob guy, that was
Also,
very nice.
this is the episode I almost. This is the one I watched before. I had to go to the ER. So very
So
nice.
Tyler could have died knowing the last thing he saw was the boob bag.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my own thoughts, but it's just funnier to end it with a thought of you just fucking passing away, and the last thing you saw was just Kitagawa moving her boob bag around, and you going, boing. And I guess
uh,
on that note, we'll move on to
time for
Sabakoi Bisco or Rust Eater Bisco.
also the as I've dubbed it, the Shroom Show,
Yeah,
because
basically.
this show loved its shrooms.
Yeah, it's very out there in its world,
It's very interesting though. I'll give it that. Like honestly, like from like the not so talked about series, and this is like one of the better ones I've seen.
right? I mean,
Also, what
episode one was rough a bit. Like it showed who Neko Ignagi is, but then like Bisco, the guy the show's named after, barely gives him
yeah,
anything to do that episode.
yeah. Also, this is if you're a stoner, this is like this shows your wet dream.
Right? Or as I put it in the episode
Also,
two notes, a fever dream with a followable plot.
also, a dunk on Traz's family. They'd probably enjoy this show a lot.
Oh, shit, that's a good one. Yeah, or if you want me to go more in
um,
detail with that fever dream analogy, it's like the characters are grounded and their reasons for doing things are understandable, but the world itself feels like it came out of a fever dream.
yeah.
And then, episode three, we got the fight between Pau, which is Neko Yanagi's sister, and Bisco, and it was
Although
pretty hype. And I kind of like how
I gotta
Bisco
give
had to
that.
play dirty to win.
I did like the fight scene. Also, Big Mommy Milkers. You get a thumbs up for me.
I
Even though like half her body is like rust.
right? Like I actually, shockingly enough, who knew? Who knew that when a show portrays a woman character as being competent, that guys can also find that to be pretty badass? Who'd have thunk it, huh?
I mean, there's plenty of badass women in like games and stuff,
I
but
know. I'm not saying they don't
maybe anime.
exist,
But
but typically with some
anime, I think
shonen,
has.
it's
I think anime has like the hardest time doing it sometimes.
right. It's
Most people that cares like Sakura existing.
it's just kind of cool to see like a badass character be badass, you know?
Yeah.
Like a character who's actually beating the main character until the main character goes, "Oh, by the way, I have your younger brother," and basically like emotionally bullshits his way to win, which I feel like will bite him in the ass because I feel like Pau's probably gonna fucking hunt him down for that comment,
I mean, unless like the brother steps in the way or something like
right? Oh, that's right. Episode three is where they finally head out on the journey. It's where they get out of the city. And then episode four was the first one out of the city.
that. Also, in this episode, did explain an episode did explain how like the rust kind of
Oh
worked,
yes,
sort of.
they explained in episode one what the rust was, and they told us that
But they
mushroom
kind of
keepers, which is what Bisco are like seen as
but then
people
they
who
added on
spread
to
it.
it.
And then episode three explains how that misconception happened and what the actual purpose of mushroom keepers are. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. That seems legit. I could see like people trying to push that narrative that way and making it work.
Also, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of zoned out during episode 4 a bit, so I might have missed something.
Ah, that's fair. It was probably the weakest episode of the lot so far. Like it wasn't
but
bad, but it definitely felt rushed in some aspects.
also, this is like one of the episodes we actually have a different opinion on because I found it great with the crab thing. Because like basically the whole gimmick with this episode was that
Neko
the
Yanagi.
panda Nekoyagi was trying to win over the crab, and I'm happy that they didn't drag it because I don't really like when they drag stupid shit like this for a whole episode. Granted, I mean, depending on what they did with it, they could have made it interesting, but most of the time they don't. They don't just. It just doesn't work
For
for me
reference,
anyway.
the crab that Tyler is referring to in this universe, what Bisco uses to travel around is a giant crab called Akutagawa. And the main thing for this episode is Neko Yanagi not being able to like get it to listen to him or follow his like commands, but being able to like talk with him or understand his feelings. And my only issue with it, like I obviously don't want like a whole ton of episodes revolving around it because I've seen it done before. but it kind of feels like some scenes were cut in between like Neko Yanagi failing and the crab not listening at all, and then at the very end when the crab just like obeys his commands. That was what I meant.
Yeah,
But hey, that
I
doesn't matter
actually, yeah,
because
that
we
I
we
agree
got
with you on
another
that. That
girl character, and
they shouldn't have rushed that.
as someone who's a fan of women, don't mean to be controversial, but women are pretty cool. uh,
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty cool.
Chiroru seemed like a fun swindler type character, and the fact that she might have the hots for the Neko Yanaga seems like it could be a fun dynamic. Also, the body horror scene. Do you remember what we're talking about?
I think that might be one of the parts I zoned out on.
So where they meet Chiroru and the fucking crab, and they like Neko Yanaga goes to like it looks like he's kissing her, but then he fucking like rips out this like parasite bug looking thing that was like in
Oh,
her throat or mouth.
oh, I remember that now.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
really fucking good body horror. I
Oh.
remember both of us were like, "What the fuck?" Oh, man, that really fucked you up remembering that, huh? You were like blocking that.
Oh my god. This is why. This is why. I don't know. I don't know.
And then in the episode they fight a mech crab, but don't expect a lot out of it because it's like there for like 3 minutes and then just like die
Yeah.
and then just loses and dies.
Well, I think they mentioned it in the previous episode. They just didn't do much with it.
Well, no, at the end of episode 3, it's like en media res of the climax of episode 4 because the after credit of 3 shows them running from the fucking mech crab, and then episode 4 is like
Yeah.
how they got to the mech crab shrine thing,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and
With
then
that, I think, like I said, I think Bisco is currently one of the. Actually, I think really all the series we've been watching have been pretty solid. Even the ones that are considered like more on the underside of things have been pretty solid. There's only
except
like
for
one show
one,
that's
and we'll get to
is
that,
yeah,
but
like I
we're not
said,
there
you
yet.
will get that one. Next, we're gonna go with one show that honestly needs a lot more attention. This show's actually really freaking good. Even if like now it's granted it's like mostly like kind of like a half advertisement for like the Super Sentai type shit from Japan, which I personally I like. I mean I still like Power Rangers this very fucking day. I don't give a shit. But I think this is actually one of the better 6 out of 10 shows. And honestly, it shouldn't even be a 6 out of 10 now. It should be like at least a 7, like bare minimum.
It's really fucking good. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not really fucking good, but it's really good. Like it is a 7 out of 10 so far. The first episode showing how the bureaucracy of like an evil society actually works. The whole concept of just what if the supervillains of the Power Rangers had like a bureaucratic system in which things worked is just a really funny concept that they do a good job in executing.
And also, like, honestly, I think the entire cast is pretty lively in general. I mean, there have been quite a few times where I've laughed, Travis has laughed.
And
The designs
again,
are pretty
so
funny.
before I say this point, I'm not trans, so I don't know how trans people feel about this character, but the Wolf Girl character having like the brain of a male but a female body, despite that, not feeling like it's punching down on trans people. I get, at least I don't think it is. Again, if they're like, if there are trans people who feel like it is, I'm not trying to speak over you. I myself didn't see it that way. So I'd like to give the show a thumbs up for that because again, Japan being very conservative, they're not the biggest fans of LGBTQ plus people in real life, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Then
Um.
episode two, that was I think episode two was the one where the fucking chicken was getting created,
Oh
and it just
yeah.
showed how it got
This.
constantly like worse and worse because of the bureaucratic system that they had in place. Like how it just goes
Uh.
from like this absolute mech killer design to like this just actual chicken with like a fucking scanner thing from like Dragon Ball and a pistol. It's just really
Yeah.
fucking amusing to me.
Um. Then like just also just double downs and like how is this like rated so low on Mal? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get how it has a worse rating than we'll get to it, but we'll get to it. It's okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
we're
I'll
Travis is gonna have some fun with the last show we're
I'm
doing.
not going in episodic
You
order
said
with that show. I'm just going to get it all out of my system, and I'm going to leave it at that
yeah.
until we have to talk about it again. Episode back to this show, which is a good show that you should watch.
Yeah.
Episode three, like I like the world fleshing out. I like the idea of official heroes, like merchandising and all that shit. I liked how the monsters turned out not to be one-offs. Like I thought the chicken would just kind of disappear, but like how the chicken was actually in this episode and seems to stay around. That's nice.
Also, let's give this a hat that this show is also a really good one for helping digest Attack of Titan's what the fuck moments.
Oh yeah, no, this is like such a palate cleanse. Like this and My Dress Up Darling are both really good palate cleansers after just like having your mind and soul crushed by Attack on Titan. These are very good pick me up shows after that. And then episode four, I think, was the
Also,
weakest
another thing
of the
I think I
ones.
should bring up for this one
What?
is that I'm interested to see with this show if there's like a major difference in ratings between the East and the West because I think that might be part of the problem with this show because this heavily caters to like the Japanese centric audience, like heavily. Not so much the West because the West kind of has like Power Rangers and stuff. And I feel like that might be part of the reason why the ratings are having such a problem, at least on Mal anyway. Or people are just retarded, which, I mean, it won't be the first time.
Anime
This Mal's
fans,
come
am I
out.
right?
They're the people that freaking spam upvoted it into species reviewers to get the 9 out of 10 just for shits and giggles, pretty much.
Yeah, episode four, I think, was probably the weakest. Not bad, but not as good as the others. The vampire lady they introduced, I thought was all right. I kind of like how she's like a closet idol fan and not a creepy idol fan, just someone who's like into the group.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, idol culture. We'll get into it one day. I avoided it today to move on, but ooh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, and then we have actually, oh, show we actually did finish. It was only one episode. It was a golf show.
Yeah, it was a one episode Cute Girls Golf, and I'm kind of disappointed it was only one episode. Not a lot to say. It was
Um,
just if you want to see cute girls golfing in a short little self contained story that's only an episode long, I'd check out Soriro Utility.
There's also apparently another one coming out, so we might be checking that out because Travis wants to watch golf, and I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Yes, sir. You know me,
I
white
actually
boy be
don't mind.
golfing.
I don't mind golf as much. If it was like freaking like soccer or something, like, dude, you're gonna kill me.
And now
And
let's just
now, wait. Drum roll, please. Well then, Harem.
fuck this show. Fuck this show. Fuck everything about this show. I hate this show. I this isn't a bit. This is genuine frustration having watched fucking what, four
Yeah,
episodes? How many
Travis
episodes?
is not having fun with this show.
Five
I
episodes.
will, I can vouch for that. He's not having fun with this show. I have been kind of the same, but I've also been kind of laughing at it because every time Travis goes freaking AWOL, it's just hilarious.
Okay, so we'll do this in sections. The first two episodes and the last three episodes because different characters get followed despite no character dies. They just switch the perspective for like an episode or two. So let's get this main character out of the way for episodes one and two. Fuck this main character. The conflict is so stupid. It's such bullshit. It's this whole Japan having the idea of if you have sex, you're no longer pure mentality cranked up to 11. And it's a mentality that frankly needs to fuck off. Because it's just the main character going, no, I won't have sex. I have someone I truly love who might still be alive.
Um,
What's that? I'm one of
we
the
should
few people who
probably
can repopulate the planet. Sorry, I only have one girl who I'm gonna have sex with, despite this being a situation where having sex with multiple women would actually benefit humanity slightly. Aren't I such a great fucking guy?
plus I and add to that in a certain context. I'm pretty sure even if like like the girl he wants to be with is like very pure and all that. I'm pretty sure she could understand these circumstances being like you kind of have to do what you got to do
Yeah.
type of
No,
thing.
it literally, if this girl were to like walk back and be like, "What? You had sex with other women?" It's like, yes, because I'm one of five fucking males who are able to reproduce. So shockingly enough, I'm going to follow my human instinct and fuck like an animal.
Also, I mean they kind of have to because if they don't, the human race is gonna die.
And like, okay, and the main character is not even the first male to wake up to this society. No, the first male to wake up to this society is just completely fucking ignored. The show just
Yeah.
does not care. He's there. He is there sometimes. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Also, this show kind of also brings up another thing. What if someone's like into like who's actually like gay? Like, what are they supposed to do in this
They freeze
situation?
them again.
Yeah, get back
Sorry,
in the fucking
lol.
tube.
Fucking what the hell else? Fucking what stupid bullshit from those first two
I mean,
episodes
he's trying
besides
to make a
that.
cure to the virus, but like even then, it's like, dude,
Just
I think you
have
could
sex
benefit
while
more
trying to
for
make the
people
cure. The cure is helpful, but you can also have sex while making the cure. You can timetable this shit. I promise.
or like think about it this way. Think about it this way, right? If you pre-produce right, and they are somehow immune to it, and they can continue your research.
Oh, hold on.
Do you
No,
see what I'm getting at here?
episode 2 revealed
They can
two
continue
plot
the
points of
research.
the what was it? Let me take a look see. Let me take a look see. So the whole stupid main character's conflict of not having sex with other women, the fucking plot twist of the virus, the man killer virus was apparently man-made. Oh, and a secret government pulling the strings. It's shitty plot bingo. It's shitty plot tic-tac-toe. Fuck you. A show fucking sucks so goddamn much. I
Travis, this show is secretly based on COVID-19.
it's so true. It's actually about how the Chinese were just, they just ooh, I hate this show. Show sucks. Let's get to episodes
Uh,
3 and onward, where we follow a different main character, the third person to be woken up in the society, except
and actually, probably the best one out of them so far
yep,
by a long
we'll get to the
shot.
retarded points of this guy's plot in a moment, but it starts out okay because it's like, oh, he was a kid who was bullied in the regular world, and he's kind of resentful, but he wakes up, he realizes most of the people who are dicks to him are now dead, and he's just like trying to live his life for the most part, while like
You know, one thing I'm
and
surprised about
he
them
does
not
the
doing.
shocking thing the main character doesn't. He has sex. I
You
mean,
know, that's
granted,
one thing
with
I
only
found
one
like really
person in
weird,
episode 3, but like, that's more than the fucking
Travis.
main character did.
Do you know what I think was weird about this?
The fact the show advertises itself based off sex, but barely shows anything besides boobs.
Yes, but aside from that, like, you would think with like the because there were two, I think like at least one or two women that bullied him. You'd think that'd be two of the people that he'd fuck. I don't know. I think that would just kind of one of the things that just happened. They just like snap.
I thought that too, and then I thought, on the other hand, I'm glad revenge sex or rape wasn't a plot point here.
Well, I didn't think it'd be revenge sex. I just would be like them like kind of throwing stuff on him or something like that. I don't know. I just feel like I thought they would do something like that for the show.
I'm glad they didn't follow through with that idea. Congrats. It held itself back twice. And the fact that they haven't tried to fucking pull an incest rat with main character one's sister. Congrats, you have 2 points out of fucking 100. Fuck you. Oh, and then episode 4. Let's just get to the main points. Firstly, this guy, I guess, not realizing he also has to have sex with multiple people, but unlike the main character, eventually goes through with it, which is fine. It's perfectly fine in this situation. The gray haired kid doesn't suddenly become unpure and unworthy of whatever bullshit because he did this. It is a case where humanity has to be repopulated to manually get a fucking immunity to this man killer disease. It is fucking a
Yeah.
okay in this situation. Holy fuck.
Also, I'm gonna bring up a plot point. I'm gonna call right now. The teacher's pregnant. I'm gonna call it right now.
Probably.
I'm calling my shot already because there is no. That's obviously the reason why I'm calling it.
So let's get to
But
the.
like my thought process with this is right. Okay, I know you're the teacher guy. All right, you can keep fucking the teacher. Keep having kids
Oh,
with her. That's fine.
typically when women are pregnant, they don't really like having sex at
Well,
that time.
like, but my point is, like, you can keep doing that with her. You don't have to,
Oh yeah,
like,
no,
you
it's
can
not like
fucking
one kid and
marry
you're
her.
done.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm saying, like, you can keep doing that. I don't know why she's doing it
Yeah,
this way.
I
She shouldn't really
I
have
thought
to.
you
I
were
think
trying to
actually,
imply that he should have sex with her while she's pregnant, and I
no,
was like, Tyler, most
no,
women are not. They're not fans of that.
no. That's not what I'm talking
I
about. It's
get I
not
get
more
what you mean.
like,
I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right, let's get to the stupid bullshit with this episode.
yeah.
The fact that apparently the whole system of this school was to be secretive about the fact that he's breeding. Why be secretive about that? Why not just be upfront with him? Why not just does everyone just think the guys are gonna be retarded like fucking main character number one? I would certainly hope not. Why is it necessary to keep this a secret? Why is this episode labeled School Secret? That's not a secret to the audience. The audience already knows it. Hell, from the way it was described in episode 3, I thought fucking main character 2 already knew this fact. I, oh, mm, mm, mm. I'm so mad I'm not even gonna fucking make the joke at fucking that I have at the end of these notes. That's how frustrated I am with this show. It's ruined my sense of humor. Oh, that's right. Episode 5. Episode 5, where two new harem bait for main character 1 are introduced. Can't wait to have them be fucking nothing characters. And one of them seems like fucking. One of them seems like a lot more aggressive towards the main character. And it's also implied that she might have feelings for, like, the caretaker of main character 1, who's a girl. So, can't wait for the subplot where main
What's the
character 1
best thing about
fixes
this
her
episode?
by making her no longer lesbian or
What's
bisexual.
the,
That'll
you know
be
what's the best thing about
awesome.
this episode, Travis?
Huh?
You know what the best thing about this episode
What's
is?
that?
The very beginning when the one character you're talking about, the black hair one,
Yep.
accuses the main character of rape.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
cares in this
no, right?
situation? Who fucking cares?
Excuse me.
I think in this instance with this fucking guy, that'd be a fucking godsend. They'd be applauding. They would be so thankful on a fucking party. They do a whole thing for a fucking celebration. I don't think anyone would give a shit.
Yeah, right.
Alright?
They she
In the comments of the show, no one would care.
okay, right. It's the fact she accuses him of rape, and then the literal next
Yeah.
scene you see of her, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, she's supposed to be your caretaker. It's like, oh why? Why would she? Why is she being so needlessly antagonistic already? Why is she trying to like make light? The show sucks. The show writing sucks. 2 out of 10. Don't watch it unless you just want to watch an awful show. Fuck this show. I'm done talking about it. Fuck this show. Suck my nuts.
Well, until the next episode, because
That's
we're gonna
it.
be
Oh, until the next. Yeah, you're right. Until we do this next
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Well, on that note, winter season
On the
as a
bright
whole,
side,
it's a lot more wins than losses from what we're watching. It's like 5 good to 1 bad. Granted, that 1 bad is
yeah.
really bad, but those goods are really fucking good for the most part.
Like the season has the high highs and the low lows.
For shows I'd recommend, Attack on Titan, My Dress Up Darling, Rust Eater Bisco, and Miss Chorizo from the Monster Development Department.
All four of them are fantastic, actually.
Yeah, I fucking enjoy all 4 of them.
They've been the highlight of the season, and Word on Harem just Word on Harem.
World's End Harem sucks, but if you want to watch a show that's awful, fucking there you go. On that note,
Honestly, if you
I've been Trev55 or Travis.
and this is chapter Type 2008, and we are signing off. And this was like a 3-hour long podcast.
See you guys around.